Hi, welcome back, it's Susan. I've made this lovely card today and I'm going to show you how I've made it. So first of all, I've got the birthday tags. These are £8.50 and my goodness, do you get value for money. The present overlays is what I'm using for this tutorial. So I've got the 3 size presents and then I've cut out the overlays to them. So there's the presents. And then the overlays, which is the funny looking sticks which goes over the present. So that's the 3 cut out as well. Now these are all in the birthday tags and you've got so much in this set. There's balloons, champagne bottle, party hats, numbers, embossed hearts, embossed balloons, drinking glasses, flowers. There's just so much. There's different size labels as well as your sentiments, which is just to name a few. Birthday, have a great day, happy birthday. There's just so much. Now I've also got Snowball. This is a Digi stamp by Louise Dunn. It's on the website at £4.20. It's so lovely and I've just cut it out with a die for my project. So of course, you know where they're from. It's Craftaddictionuk. You've got my coupon code, Susan5, for that extra 5% off all your orders, what you place through me. So if you're needing anything, we've stocked the website up and everything's in stock. So I'm going straight into it and I've got my image and a piece of tracing paper. So what I plan to do is just trace round with a pencil, Snowball. Now if you haven't got any tracing paper, you could try using some parchment or some clear baking liner paper, just so that you can see through it. And I'm going to just make a mask. So it's just a rough outline. And I'm going to cut that out with my curved scissors. It's easy to do, but there is one thing I have found. I want to stamp it out with VersaFine Clear. Now, because VersaFine Clear is a slow drying ink and tracing paper doesn't absorb the ink, it sits on top. So you can use it, not a problem whatsoever, but I wouldn't reuse it just in case you smudge yourself. Or of course you could wipe the ink off with a little alcohol and let that dry, and you can use the mask over and over again. So that's cut out. And getting a tape runner, I'm just going to put a little bit of the tape runner on the back and then place it on top of Snowball. Because what I want to do is get a stamp, so get in the Misty, popping that in. I've got my stamp, which is a Lavinia Stamps Wild Pine stamp. And I want to position the tree at the back of Snowball, part way. Now my panel is 5 1/4 squared. So I've got the Nocturne in the VersaFine Clear, giving it an ink in, and remembering that my cardstock is a linen textured cardstock, so it might take more than one ink in to get a good coverage. And I'm going to do it again. The tool I'm using is just a spare doorknob and a furniture protector, and I hot glued them together. Yep, that's fine. So I'm going to take the tracing paper off and being careful about that ink, and you can see the effect. So what we're doing is we're using a Digi stamp, an actual stamp, and some dies to make this project. I've got grey granite ink, I've got my pot of water and my sponge. So rolling the brush every time I've been in the pot of water, just so that I've only got moisture onto my brush. I don't want to flood my image. So just doing that little highlight of grey just to bring Snowball to life. And you can see I'm hardly picking any of the colour up. And I tell you, every time I've watercolouring, it's about building the layers. Don't go too mad to start with, because you can ruin your project. Just build your layers up gradually. So now I've got Peekaboo Peach. And Pink Pirouette. So picking some ink, and that's the Peekaboo Peach, just for the beak. Washing my brush, giving it a roll, and going into the Pink Pirouette. Only very lightly. I don't want a really solid pink colour. Although Pink Pirouette is a soft pink, it's perfect for doing the inside of the ears and giving them some cheeks. Just that little blush. And like I say, you can always build a little bit more colour up once it's dried. I'm going to put a tiny bit on his pads of his feet. Thank you for my new subscribers. I do appreciate you so much for subscribing. If you've not subscribed and you like what you see, please subscribe. It's totally free. You just need to press that subscription button. So I've got some old olive, but before I do that, I'm just going to go into the grey and do some shaded areas. I'm just doing some blending. And it soon brings the images to life. Just very subtle colouring. Always remember, less is more. So going into the old olive, I'm just going to put the tiniest hint of green onto that pine stamp. I'm not doing anything arty. I just wish you could see this in real life because it's so beautiful and it's not picking all the colour up on camera. Now I've got my Posca pens. Just doing a little of the red. Just dots, random dots. Giving them a shake before I use them, and this is a gold, still in the Posca. Just going round randomly on that image. If you'd like to join my Facebook group, it's a private group, so only members see what you post, and it's a very friendly community. You can post anything, unbranded, branded, it doesn't matter. If you've made it, you can post it. We're a very encouraging group. So just going into these little nodes of the tree with the gold. I'll leave everything in the description, so press the more button. So getting the presents. So I've got some cherry cobbler and I'm just going to do a wash of this cherry cobbler onto the present. And then build the colour up. And that's deepened it up beautifully. So after I've cleaned my brush, I'm going into the old olive just to do a light wash. And then with this one, I've picked up a metallic gold marker, just testing it first on a piece of scrap. And I think that looks really nice. So then it's just putting those overlays on. So getting the glue, just putting a couple of pumps onto the mat. You know, I'm going to pop it on with my finger at the back. So lining it up at the bottom, and there is a little ridge where it's supposed to go, pressing it down with my block. And those overlays, just finish them off beautifully. So doing the other two. They quickly come together. So lining that last one up. And placing the block on. So I'm going into the grey granite and I want to put a little grounding down. So just using the ink that's on the mat, just a light wash of the grey to do the grounding. Now with the gifts, I've decided to get my white Posca pen and just do some dots onto those segments. So going round the segment first and then just filling in with random dots in the centre. And I think that just makes it pop beautifully. And of course you could use pattern paper to suit your project. With the Digi stamp, you do get coloured sheet and a sheet for you to colour yourself. They're really versatile. If you've got a graphics program, you can resize them. It's up to you how you want to use them. Or as simply just print and go. So I'm placing this down, making sure that I've got it level and I'm slightly off. Staggering the heights. And the last one, I'm going to put on a little foam tape, just so that that one's elevated at the front. And my sentiment, which I've done on the computer, I'm just going to put a bit of foam tape on that while I've got the tape. So I'm bringing in my panels. Now this fancy panel, I can't remember what brand it is, where I got it from. I've had it in my stash that long, but I saw it the other day and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it. So if you've got it, let me know what it is. And that fancy panel is 6x6, and this matte layer just goes onto it beautifully in the centre. I have got a little piece in that corner that's not sticking down. So getting a piece of scrap, putting some glue and just sliding it under, and that's sorted that out. So I'm gluing this panel down as well. And my base card is 7x7. Then just left, pop my sentiment on, and I'm having it there. So placing that down. I'm super pleased of how this tutorial turned out. So if you've liked it, please like and subscribe. I'll leave everything in the more button, so just press that. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.